the House of Representatives, other honorable members here present. My name is John Mrabure. I'm representing the Controller General of Corrections, Alhaji Jafar Ahmed, who couldn't make it because of other official concerns. I feel honored for this privilege to welcome this distinguished audience this afternoon. I'm indeed pleased to welcome the honorable members of the House of Representatives Committee on Reformatory Institutions on oversight visit to the 3,000 capacity maximum security custodial center, Karachi, Abuja. Construction of 3,000 capacity custodial center in Karachi commenced in 2018. The project was broken into 3 phases for easy implementation and funding. The first phase was kickstarted with an initial appropriated sum of 6 billion 36,862,971 naira 78 kobo out of the 22,648,377,669 budgeted into the service in 2018. A total of 46 projects was awarded to indigenous companies after due process and due diligence was carried out on them, and they were found to be technically and financially qualified to execute the projects. Thereafter, 5 additional projects were later awarded, thereby bringing the total number of projects awarded to 51. This was a result of the topography of the project land, which necessitated the construction of some civil works to negate the effect of erosion and other natural agents on the ongoing construction projects. The sum of 4,135,317,509 naira has so far been expended on the phase 1 of the project, and the list containing the project description and names of contractors or companies for each project is hereby attached and marked Appendix A. 51 projects are hereby presented to the Honorable Chairman and members of the House of Rep Committee on Reformatory Institutions for inspection, please. In conclusion, I wish to once again thank the honorable members for making our time to come for this oversight visit. I do hope that this oversight visit will engender more collaborative efforts towards the funding and completion of this noble project. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
May I have the honor to invite the Chairman, Honorable Anayo Edwin.
The 3,000 capacity MM, I think it's double M, maximum custodial center, which, yes, maximum, which we believe that we are trying to get to the international standard by the special grace of God. So we are here today to know the extent of this job, because so far so good. Money have entered in this project, as you rightly said, 4-point-something billion. We know what 4-point-something billion can do in Nigeria. And it's our taxpayers' money. It's all of us money. And we have the constitutional right to oversight and know how this money is being spent. And that is why we are here today, to know the level of the job, to know how far the contractors have gone, to know whether there is any hitches that our legislative work can make to be faster, because truly we need this job to be done. If you watch other custodial centers in Abuja here, they are already packed up. With this project, it will drastically reduce the inmate in other various custodial centers. And I think that is the reason why the Federal Executive Council looked at sent by the CG, and they decided to approve this job to be done. And not only in Abuja here, in Karachi here, but in all the zones in the Federation. So basically today, we have had you with the presentation of your paper and the document you presented. We'll be going through it as we'll be going around now to inspect the job and know how far you people have gone. But before we do that, I will leave the floor for my colleagues for now, if they have any question or contribution or comments for them to make. Thank you.
Observation with regards to the presentation. If you look at Appendix A, there is no page. Cost estimate for the is subdivided into 3 phases. We are now on phase 1, that is basic amenities and inmates custody for 512 senior staff quarters, and B, additional amenities and inmates custody of 672, total 1,184 for staff quarters for intermediate staff. So as an engineer, my only quarrel with this submission is that as legislators, if you are dividing or if you are subdividing the project into 3 phases, I think there is need to be attached timeline or time that phase A, if there is availability of funds, we are completing it on so date. Phase 1, even if you can say phase 1A or phase 1B, so that we know from so date this project, if there's availability of funds. And second issue is that the issue of funds. Now, as you budgeted, I'm happy you budgeted 6 billion for the phase A and phase 1, and you are able to get 4 billion. It's a good release, and your performance is also good. And Chairman, another comment I'm going to make is in his presentation, I went through the list of contractors. Most of them are indigenous, all of them. This is also remarkable. I think I would like to even call on other things to emulate our correctional service in awarding contract indigenous locals, so that we encourage our economy in the local perspective. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
The same, and this approval was made in 2017, right? At 2016 or 17, at a particular cost. Now, what do you think would happen? Wouldn't there be a cost for variation or other cost, project costs? Thank you.
Commend the hierarchy of the correctional services for what you have done so far. But like the chairman rightly pointed out, we are completely guided by Section 81 of our Constitution, which vests the power of oversight on projects that are done within the jurisdiction of that committee. I'm looking at the entire sum, and for me, Mr. Chairman, I think it gives me a personal source of concern because I've looked at the total value of the capital project for 2019 and 2020. The entire value of the capital project is 14 billion in 2019, and the proposed one for this 2020 is 13 billion. That's the total number of the value of the capital project. And also, if you look at that page, you see that in 2019, the total number of projects executed, projected to be executed was 50. The question is this: how do you compare the price or the value of this particular project vis-a-vis the entire sum that has been put in the 2020 budget? Example, the entire project costs about 13 billion naira from what we have here. And that 13 billion for this project in isolation, away from other projects, it is still that amount that is the sum total of the entire capital projects that is proposed to be executed in 2020. So I find that as a source of concern, especially as you rightly said that these projects will be replicated in the other geopolitical zones. And Mr. Chairman rightly pointed out that these are taxpayers' money. So for me, it's a very clear observation that I think the hierarchy of the NCS would look in holistically into it, vis-a-vis the economic crisis that we have. And I must indeed commend the FG for actually releasing 64%. That is the sum of over 4 billion. I'm even stunned that there are projects that, that can be funded to that much value and all that. And of course, we know that to whom much is given, of course, much is expected. So it's a good thing we came here so we can see the visibility of that 64% reverberating in the air here in Karishi. That is my first observation. And secondly, it's a good thing you published the list of the contractors. But one thing I don't know is, you said the list of projects for the 3,000 capacity custodial center, Karishi. So I don't know if these ones are the ones that have been dispensed with the 64%, or these ones are the ones that are still in abeyance, waiting for more funds so they can be done. That's another angle. And finally, I think this honorable committee, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, as time goes on, I think it will be proper that we're giving proper details of this budget, especially as it has to do with the 3,000 capacity. It's not good enough that you give us the list of the projects with the contractors without us actually understanding the values embedded in each and every one of them. So that's my suggestion for now. Thank you very much.
The companies that is doing this project here. But it's important that Mr. A is doing this job at so cost. We need the details. The drawing, the details of the drawing. We have engineers here, we have architects here who can go sit down and go through this thing. Like what he said, is let us look at the paper and make sure what is in the paper is what is on the ground. You know, in some cases, you will go to NDS or agencies, you will see them doing different things from what the paper is showing. So we want to be sure of what we are doing. So that is why they are asking all those details. Thank you.
Before now, I've even been there. We'll be having interaction with this committee on ways to advance the service forward. I want to appreciate the points you have raised, and I will ensure that my boss is informed. And I want to crave your indulgence at this stage, your kind permission, so that we could go out and inspect the projects.
Thank you, honorable colleagues, DCG and your team. I think we have come to the end of today's exercise. We have witnessed what is happening in Karachi, Correctional Custodial Center, and you have heard the complaint of the honorable members. Please take it to the appropriate quarter. Yes, sir. And the document the honorable members requested, we believe that yes, the bill of quantity drawing in a shortest period, we are going to get that. I believe in the next 1 week we are going to get those documents through our secretariat. If we have done well, we have to commend you where we will commend you, and we have to complain where we're supposed to complain. Like what I said, seeing this cell is still under construction. I think you people have done a very good job here. And we believe that at the end of this project, Nigerians will be happy with correctional services. Sorry. Because we are preparing where we can keep people that is disturbing the society, so that they can be reformed, corrected, so that there will not be a problem to the society. Thank you. The committee is extending this. We have accepted the apology of the CG. We have accepted it, and we will extend our own greetings to him. When next we will come, we will communicate with you people that we are going to visit here, because very soon we are going to repeat this visit and make sure that here is in a good shape the way it's supposed to be. Thank you for now. Goodbye, and God bless all of us.
Thank you very much.
I think the whole National Assembly, because we are representing the National Assembly here, we are happy with what is on ground.
And how soon can this work then be done? Since you are happy, it means you will make efforts to see that the remaining funds are received and they can get on with the job.
Definitely, we are going to do that as we are going back now, to do our own part of it, to make sure that they release their funds as when due, so that this job can be completed and put it in use for Nigerians.
Honorable, the issue of local contractors came up earlier when you were speaking. What will be your encouragement going forward?
In fact, I want to thank the CEG and his team for almost all the contractors are local contractors. We are happy with him. That is the only way we can encourage ourselves. Not when you have a job where you can't bring a foreigner. The CG, we are going to make sure we advertise this to other MDAs, other agencies, so that they can emulate correctional services the way they are doing with their jobs. So I believe that the CG have done well in that aspect, and the whole country will definitely hear about that.
Are there other observations you have made that you want the service to improve?
Yes, we have done 1 or 2 observations, and then we take it off from there.
My name is Engineer Honorable Mohamed Ali Wudil. I'm representing Wudil Garko Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State and a 4th-term member of the House of Reps.
As an engineer in the team, what are your general observations?
Yeah, my general observation is that the quality of work is commendable. As an engineer, we went out, we have seen it, and we have seen a quality job. And we urge the contractors to continue with this good job. And we also thank the authorities of correctional services for awarding it to our indigenous contractors. Our indigenous contractors have shown zeal to develop their countries.
When you talk about quality, what can you say is the quality of job being done here?
Yeah, quality means to do something that is value for money. If you look at the mixture, the roads they use, and the materials, they are quality materials. It went to the extent that even I touched the wires that are drawn in the conduit pipe to see that it's a Nigerian cover, which is one of the best in the country, in the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.